So I'm going to start doing these more often, see what kind of a crowd I can gather. I'm going to upload them to my YouTube, see if I can get something moving there. The point of this is really just to get messages out there for people to access, which could essentially make me a nobody, but it could also start something to help people be a somebody, everybody be a somebody. We have a lot more power than we give ourselves because we are allowing an entity or organization identified as a government and or agency otherwise. We are allowing them to hand us what we think is considered power. But what I don't believe is widely understood is that we have that power already. And the mock responsibility that they hand out to us is not correct in my mind, because it is engineered more so to make you feel like you need somebody to provide it to you instead of having that within yourself. That goes into anything you can think of. I mean, you have the ability to provide your own power, to collect your own resources. You have your own ability to feed yourself, to clothe yourself. You have your own ability to do anything that you need to sustain yourself in this life. And the fact that we have laws about laws telling us that we can or cannot do something drives me insane. Now, I agree that I'm a vegan, mind you. I'm a conscientious vegan. And I believe that we should not hunt. That's an American pastime, let alone for the rest of the planet. At least individuals around the rest of the planet. And I do not agree with that necessity that people consider a need. It is something that we did for survival back in the day, and it's become a pastime now. I'm sure it feels more gracious, more respectful. I'm sure it feels like you're doing the proper and correct thing if you are killing your own meat and if you are going through the efforts of preparing it and whatever. But we are at a point now scientifically, mind you, I don't support science very much, but this is one form of science that I do support. The way that we have legitimately moved past the need to harm another creature for our own sustenance. We don't need things like milk. We don't even necessarily need the vitamins and minerals or what do they call those? I can't remember what they're called right now, but the different forms of, we'll just call it nutrient base, that is provided to you from consuming animal products. That is a sustenance relevance that we have been raised on since birth, and it is not something that we necessarily need. There are plenty of non-animal based products to supplement where those have introduced themselves into our lives, and we have that ability readily available to us. It is upon us as a species, as a people, to move past the point of needing to rely on things that cause anything else harm. I mean, mind you, all of life causes harm in some way or another, but we are at a point scientifically, technologically, and consciously where we have the ability to move past these restraints and these constraints and these holdings that we have put upon ourselves, along with the way that we have weaned the market into articulating for our needs and desires. We do provide to ourselves in that way. We have that conscious ability to cognitively function on a higher vibration for the assimilated, agreeable, and acceptable existence of all life that is around. Mind you, life is still a matter of consumption of some form of life that we consider lesser than ourselves in order for us to sustain ourselves. But for that fact, we are not in a way to give it the proper respect that it needs to consciously accept that it is in that place to be that for us. In essence, blessing the food that we consume. You might think that has no effect, but energetically, it has an effect. Consciously, vibrationally, that piece of life, that created piece of existence, reality, has accepted that it is being turned into what will become a member of your digestive tract. And for that fact, it is then a part of your being. So, it knows whether you accept it or not. There's plenty of tests to state that it knows, that it is conscious, that it is aware of the energy, the type of energy, the intention, the meaning that you are providing to it. It is aware of the fact that you are using it for what you are. And it is a matter of personal, conscientious acceptance and also stature for you to take it upon yourselves to show it the necessary respect that allows you to give it that say-so, that blessing, that thankfulness. Mind you, this is something that I still have not perfected. I'm just not conscious enough. I've got too much on my mind consistently. I need a few things in my life, I feel, before I'm staying completely conscious of this. I did really well when I was in jail, but there's not a whole lot to distract you in there. Now that I'm out in the world with 10 million things happening, I have completely forgotten about just about everything I do and have. At least I did in there. I spent more time in there learning and less time expressing myself to learn from my own perspective. More time writing to myself and learning from my knowledge. Now I'm learning from a more on-the-spot kind of process and in progress. What you would consider food, the produce, the plants, the animals, and everything that we have within our reach and grasp as being sustenance for our body, our heart, our soul, our mind, our spirit, our energetic self in whatever vibration, being lower vibration body, medium vibration spirit, and higher vibration soul, all reverberates on a level that respects our respect, that expects our thankfulness for the sacrifice, for the willing presence that it provides to us. You wouldn't be here without what sustains you. I wouldn't be here without what sustains me. And if I wasn't spent so much and stressing myself out trying to help other people out, because not a good reason, I know, but it's stressful trying to help other people out in so many different ways and stay conscientiously sane in my own mind because of how many people need help and how many people are unwilling to help in my life, at least in my presence and what I witness. I need to be back on that track and giving the proper respects to what I consume. It's something that I need and I desire for myself. And the way that I definitely see that happening is when I have a lady in my life and we can bounce that off of each other, someone to remind each other. That's something that I am looking forward to, but at the same time, I would like to accomplish it without having her in my life. I might not even have her for a while, so I would like to accomplish that beforehand so that I can introduce it to her. Like saying grace at any Thanksgiving or Christmas or otherwise, but on a regular scale, on a consistently regular basis. What you would consider food or water, sustenance, what we need to sustain ourselves in this life, in this reality, in this dimension, in this level of existence that we now consume ourselves time-wise in, respects, energetically is appeased by what you show to it. I have witnessed it personally, experienced it, and the more that I am thankful for what is present in my life, the more that I am gracious towards it, the more that I am conscientious of that fact and willing to show it, the more I feel thankfulness, the more I feel a resignation closer to bliss, to harmony for what I am taking into myself in whatever way, than if I just do it essentially against its will without any show of respect, without any show of love. It hurts me that I am not fully, completely, consciously able to remind myself of this all the time. But I do so much every minute of my life that I possibly can, helping as many people as I can, whether it's online or in person, whether it's at my apartment or out somewhere else. I am always doing something to benefit another person as much as I can so that I enable them to be the best that they can be. Mind you, it doesn't very often show that this is working out for me the way that I desire, because most people are consumed with their own lives and don't generally seem to care too much about adding their own effects to the ripple that spirals out beyond our internal personal actions. I can only do so much from where I'm currently at, but I'm doing my best to make that happen. And I'm giving everything that I have and am to this revolution that I am brewing. Yes, there is a revolution we are all brewing. Yes, we are all conscientious and absolutely aware of whatever aspects we are contributing to this grand picture, this giant scheme that we all contribute to. But I have my own style, my own brand, my own efforts that I'm putting in for my own ideology, my own philosophy, psychology, intellectual natures of whatever sort. Not to say I'm better than anybody else, not to say that it doesn't fit anybody else, not to say that my ways don't parallel anybody else. But what I'm doing is a very certain type of effort and effect being put into this totality of the movement that we are making together. I don't even know that many people are interested in it anymore because I don't see it very much, because most of the people that I am looking towards accomplishing something with have little to no interest. They want to support the life that we live in now and then generally complain about the situation that they're in. So they want to scream Bloody Mary, something's going bad for them, talk about what's going bad for them, and then go back to supporting what it is that they are dealing with. I'm the sort of person that does something constructive and works towards alleviating the stresses and therefore the entire moments of movement that we accomplish together. We don't need to be subjective particles in the grand scheme of what is this life, this world, this society, this entity that we call a country or an economic presence. We have the ability to conscientiously, to actively, to consciously affect what we are a part of. And all it takes is us banding together, uniting under one common ideal or another that builds cohesiveness, that builds community unity, and allows us to come together as a people to accomplish what we are looking into. As that starts to happen, people will align interests and come together as a group to build a bigger, better story for us to write into the annals of time. Annuals of time, whichever it is. We are strongest when we are together. I am working towards doing what I can to enable the folks around me so that I have a group that will move forward with me. But it only goes so fast. And I'm impatient for the amount of effort that I see needs to be put in, for the amount of work that needs to be accomplished, for the amount of time that we have left in this life, let alone altogether. I wish you the best. This is the end of my 15-minute video for now. Blessings of creation upon you, now and always.